How's it going, YouTube? Sick Eric back again with another video, and today we're going to be comparing the Galaxy A71 5G and the LG Velvet 5G. These are both T-Mobile variant phones, and you could pick these up on T-Mobile. The LG runs about $588 and the Galaxy A71 is about $600. You can probably find these for deals, either you add a line or you trade in the device to get a certain percentage off of these two devices. Two excellent devices, roughly around the same price. They both offer a lot of similarities too as far as specs go, so we're going to go ahead and jump down into it and go over the specs for each one of these, the LG Velvet 5G and the Samsung Galaxy A71 5G. So first off, we're going to start off with the displays on each of these. So the Galaxy A71 has a 6.7-inch Super AMOLED display with a resolution of 1080 by 2400, and you get 393 pixels per inch with an 88.3 screen to body ratio. So it is really nice. You do get that hole punch cutout for your camera, and the bezels are pretty minimal on here, so that is really good. Color quality is nice as well. Again, Samsung really does not disappoint in their panels. Jumping on over to the LG Velvet, you get a 6.8-inch, so slightly larger display on here. POLED with 60 Hz refresh rate, again 60 Hz on the Samsung as well, with a resolution of 1080 by 2460, 395 pixels per inch, so you do get a couple more pixels over here on the LG. 88.6% screen to body ratio, so very similar sized panels and displays over here on both of these. The bezels over here on the LG are a bit bigger, especially at the top and at the bottom, but the sides on the LG seem to be a little bit smaller. Actually, they're probably about the same. You do get a curved front on the LG as opposed to a flat display on the Samsung, and in my opinion, I definitely prefer the LG's display over the Samsung's, just because it looks better and the colors are just nicer, and it just overall a nicer panel. Going on over to the size, the Samsung comes in at about 6.40 inches tall, 2.97 inches wide, and about 0.32 thick. So it is a pretty sizable phone, not too big and not too small. I think these are the sweet spots as far as size goes. They're not too big and they're not too small, so that is good. You do get an aluminum frame over here on the Samsung, but you do get a plastic back on the back right there, sort of their glassic back. I think it is Gorilla Glass 3 if I'm not mistaken, don't quote me on that, but it is really excellent build, and that metal frame does add that premium feel to it. On over to the LG, it's 6.58 inches tall, 2.92 inches thick or wide, and 0.31 thick. So it is taller than the Samsung and about the same in width, and it is like slightly thinner than the Samsung, so really not that much of a difference as far as size for both of these phones, other than it being just a tad bit taller than the Samsung. If I'm not mistaken, I'm not sure about the type of Gorilla Glass on the Samsung. I mean, on the LG, I think it's Gorilla Glass 4, but don't quote me on that. I might be wrong. The frame is aluminum, and I think the win goes to LG over here, just because it does have a glass back, and the build quality on the LG definitely feels a lot nicer than the build quality on the Samsung. So I'm gonna have to give that to the LG Velvet just for having a better build quality on there, and it definitely feels a lot better in the hands with the curved back and the curved display. Really excellent looking design, and LG really knocked it out of the park with the design of the LG Velvet. For me, it just looks better. Camera array looks better over here than it does on the Samsung. Samsung sort of just looks like a S20, while the Velvet has this new refreshing design on there. Going on over to the weight, 6.53 ounces over here on the Samsung. While going on over to the LG, it's 6.35 ounces, which surprisingly the LG does feel a little bit lighter than the Samsung. Despite having that glass back, it does feel a little bit lighter than the Samsung, which is weird. The LG does offer IP68 water and dust resistance with the MIL STD810G drop protection and things like that. Samsung, I do not think the Samsung is waterproof or offers any sort of IP rating, but it's still an excellent build. Not, like I said, it's a little bit heavier than the LG. You do get Android 10 on both of these. You get Samsung's One UI 2.0 on the A71, Snapdragon 765G, and the Adreno 620 GPU. You get 6 GB of RAM, 128 GB of expandable storage, and UFS 2.1 storage on the Samsung. Now going on over to the LG, you get Android 10 again out of the box with LG's UX9 skin on there. So very similar looking skins on both of these. This one comes with the MediaTek Dimensity 1000C chipset, so it's not a Snapdragon version of the LG Velvet. They are two different versions, Snapdragon and the MediaTek, and the Samsung of course comes with the Snapdragon 765G, and this one is the MediaTek. It does have 6 GB of RAM. The GPU is the Mali G57 GPU, which I've never heard of that. Like I said, I've never really owned a MediaTek smartphone. 6 GB of RAM, 128 GB of expandable storage as well, with UFS 2.1 storage at that. So really excellent specs in the storage department. RAM, both of these have enough RAM, and they offer really nice performance. Have not had any issues on these whatsoever. Going on over to the camera side of the Samsung, you do get a 64 megapixel main sensor with an aperture of f1.8. You get a 12 megapixel ultra wide with an aperture of f2.2, a 5 megapixel depth sensor, aperture 2.2, and then your macro lens, which is a 5 megapixel aperture 2.4. And then going on over to the LG, you do get 3 cameras set up on the back as opposed to your quad camera setup on the back. The main sensor is a 48 megapixel sensor with an aperture of f1.8. That's going to be the big guy up here. Second sensor is an 8 megapixel ultra wide, aperture f2.2, and then your 5 megapixel depth sensor with an aperture of 2.4. So you do get more cameras over here on the Samsung as opposed to the LG. Front facing camera on the Samsung is a bit higher. It's a 32 megapixel camera with an aperture of f2.2, 4K 30 frames per second on both the front and the rear. So that is really nice. Front facing camera on the LG is a 16 megapixel camera with an aperture of f1.9. So apparently you're supposed to get a little bit better low light performance on the LGs, but that is yet to be said on that. I think the Samsung performs a little bit better. As far as camera quality goes, both of them are really nice during the day. Samsung probably takes the win as far as nighttime footage goes. It definitely does look a little bit better than the LG's cameras do, but during the day they are both really excellent cameras. So you can see right there, you can see me, and let's go ahead and go into some of the camera settings. We got photo. Now the Samsung does offer a different, more of a wider view if you want to fit more people into the shot than the LG does, so that is really nice plus right there. They both offer, the Samsung offers a macro mode. Let's go ahead and go into some of the other settings over here. Yeah, you do get a YouTube Live in the LGs. and you do not get YouTube Live over here on the Samsung. Video, like I said, 4K on both of these, front and rear. You do get a Pro mode on the Samsung, and then for the LG, let's see if there is a Pro mode. I think there's a Pro mode for photos. Nope, I guess not. Yeah, you do. You get a manual mode for your camera over here on the LG as well. No Pro modes or manual modes on video recording, unfortunately. You do get night modes on here as well on the Samsung. Samsung, I think, takes better pictures at night than the LG does, but really excellent cameras on both of these. You will not be disappointed on either one, but I think as far as the win, Samsung slightly takes the win on better camera performance and having a little bit more options and an extra camera on the rear. Going on over to the audio side of these phones, the LG does offer stereo speakers, while the Samsung only offers the bottom firing speaker, which is a little disappointing. The LG definitely sounds a lot better and a lot crispier. And as far as sound settings go, you do get LG's 3D sound engine. No quad DAC, unfortunately, on this one like you do have on the V60, but you do get a lot of options with the LG, and you do get options for equalizers and things like that. Going on over to the Samsung, you do get Dolby on here, but unfortunately it's only when you have headphones or you're using Bluetooth, and you do get a nice simple equalizer on here. As far as audio goes, I think the LG sounds better with the speakers, and using either headphones or Bluetooth, the LG definitely does sound a lot better than the Samsung. As far as audio coming out from the headphone jacks, if you were to plug both of these in to your car auxiliary port, they both sound really loud and really good. So no issues on audio on either one. Of course, LG taking the win when it comes down to speaker quality and audio quality. Both of these do offer headphone jacks. Keep that in mind. So that's really good. $600 gets you a lot for this. A lot of flagships don't even offer headphone jacks, so that's really nice. Going on over to the battery side, the LG Velvet has a 4,000 milliamp hour battery with 25 watt fast charging, and it does have wireless charging, so that's really cool on the LG Velvet's part. Samsung over here, you get a 4,500 milliamp hour battery, same 25 watt fast charging, but no wireless charging on the Samsung. So both batteries are really good. Probably a little bit better battery life over here on the Samsung than on the LG, but the LG takes the win with having wireless charging battery life. Of course, Samsung probably takes the win on that with having a larger battery. As far as charging speeds go, they both have 25 watt chargers, so no win there. They're both pretty much equal. Going on over to special features, they both offer Bluetooth 5.1. They're both 5G phones, sub 6. They support sub 6, no millimeter wave, I believe, on either one of these. Both of these do have in-display fingerprint sensors. As far as which one is the fastest one, probably maybe the LG. Samsung requires you to have to set your finger a little bit longer on there, while on the LG, it's a little bit quicker on the LGs as far as fingerprint sensors go, but they both offer in-display fingerprint sensors. They both offer expandable memory. You do get your SIM tray and your micro SD card slots up here on the tops. Speaker quality goes, like I said, stereo speakers over here on the LG, mono speaker on the Samsung. And as far as cameras go, I think the Samsung takes the lead just a little bit over the LG Velvet, but both of these cameras are excellent during the day. Nighttime is a little bit questionable. I think the Samsung takes a little bit better photos at night than the LG Velvet does, and you do get that extra camera on the rear. As far as design goes, I'm gonna have to give that to the LG Velvet. It's got a nice, different, refreshing design to it, as opposed to the Samsung, which pretty much looks like any other smartphone out there. The LG does offer your Google Assistant button on the side, so that is really nice. You get that extra feature to where you could just tap it and you get Google Assistant Now, as far as the design goes, I do, like I said, like the LG Velvet. It just looks really nice and clean. It's got a premium design. This phone feels like $1,000, not like $588. So taking a quick walkthrough on the LG Velvet, you get your headphone jack at the bottom, USB Type-C, and a microphone and your speaker. Over here on the right hand side, you get your power button. Up top, you get a microphone and your micro SD card slots. On the left hand side, you get your volume rockers and your Google Assistant button. And I like how they made the Google Assistant button a little bit more rounded off than the volume rockers, and it's a little bit more flush with the body, so you can differentiate which one's which. So that's really nice. On the back, you do get just a little bit of LG branding at the bottom, and the cameras are really nice. The only camera that sticks out is the main sensor. The other cameras are flush. So really beautiful looking phone. This is the pink white version. They do come in Aurora gray as well, but I went ahead and just went with the white. It's not really a pinkish white, it's more of a iridescent white. Going on over to the Samsung, you get your headphone jack in the same location, USB Type-C, microphone, and your single bottom firing speaker. Over here on the right hand side, you get your power button and your volume rocker on here. Up top, you get another mic and your micro SD card SIM tray. On the left hand side, you do get nothing, so it's nice and clean. On the rear, you get some Samsung branding at the bottom, and I do like the color on this too. It sort of got that two-tone color. Let me go and wipe this down. Really nice color. It's just plastic, so you gotta baby it a little bit more than you do glass, but it does have a nice design in the back. Of course, you got your camera stove up here. It looks really nice. And then again, like I said, it looks just like a Galaxy S20 or something. You can probably mistake these for S20s. As far as build quality, I definitely prefer the LG Velvet. It feels more premium in the hand, and it just has this new refreshing look that LG decided to go with. As far as colors go, like I said, the Samsung comes in one color on T-Mobile. This is the Prism Cube Black, and there's also like a Prism Blue and a Prism White, but this is the only one T-Mobile has. And for the LG Velvet, you get this pink, white, and Aurora gray. So really excellent devices. As far as which ones you should pick, it's totally up to you. Cameras seem a little bit better on the Samsung than they do on the LG, but then the LG has a better display, and they both have the same amount of RAM, same amount of storage. They both have headphone jacks, micro SD card slots, decent cameras. They're both really good. As far as premium goes, the LG definitely does feel like $1,000 phone, and it does not feel cheap at all. Samsung, you do get that plastic back. But with that being said, guys, hope you enjoyed this video of the specs. Going on over to comparing the LG Velvet 5G and the Samsung Galaxy A71, both T-Mobile variants. And don't forget to subscribe, hit that little notification bell for future notifications on my channel. You guys stay safe out there, and wear your mask and wash your hands, and I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.